welcome to the show, sir. We are really excited to have you on board, and we are really curious to have a glimpse into your spiritual journey and your achievements and adventures of life. So maybe we can get started with a quick introduction of you.
Thank you very much for inviting on the show. Myself, Dr. Deepak Gupta. I have done my PhD from Delhi University, and I have been a visiting research scholar in various universities in the world, as well as in India. For example, Freie Universität Berlin in Germany and in UCL in Belgium. After that, I was working as assistant professor at University of Delhi. Currently, I'm working as a professional in a multinational company.
Okay, great to know about your all the educational journey and you being like a science student. You have been into chemistry and all. So to start with, I would like to understand how did you get into touch with Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj ji, and what path were you following prior to this path?
See, like every child, I think I would say every child around the world, you get the basic information that there is God, and there is one God, and there is one God Almighty, which is the most powerful in the world, or who created the world, who can solve all your problems. So I was also grown up with these kind of facts. So this motivated me to know more about God, right? So that's why I started following what I was taught in my family, what was going around in my family, what were the teachings going into my family about Hinduism. So I started following those teachings. Eventually, I started getting questions like about God and about humanity, like why there is so much of disparity in the world, why somebody is so rich, why somebody is so poor, why somebody is so sad, why many people are happy, why do we die immediately, and why we cannot cure ourselves, why do we get ill, these kind of questions, because these kind of things are which are not in your hand, right? Sometimes you get ill immediately, sometimes you met with an accident, you meet an accident immediately. So life is I would say unpredictable or improbable, that you cannot predict anything, right? So if something that you cannot do by yourself, or something which is not in your hand, so that means you are guided by something else. There is some other power,
Some other guiding force.
some other guiding force in the world that is running the world, right? And that is running you as well. So these kind of questions started coming into my mind, but I used to think like, okay, maybe I'm wrong at some point, right? So then my journey started. I started following Hindu gods like usually we do.
As you grew up.
As I grew up, and as the kind of teachings I got from my parents or my family. Then after getting these kind of questions, things became quite unclear or quite blurred to me, that no, I think this is not the right thing or the right knowledge that I'm getting, right? So eventually the life went on, and I came in contact with a person who was already associated with Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, and then he told me about Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj and his teachings, and that's how it started.
Okay, and you got to know about Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj.
Yes.
And which year was it?
So this was in 2018. So actually, before that, I was working as assistant professor in one of the colleges in Delhi University. So my contract got over in December 2017, and I was in search of a new contract. And this took a long time, actually. For like 1 year, more than 1 year, I was not able to find a job.
Okay.
And I was kind of a mental trauma, when you have a family to take care and you're helpless, So then I got to know about Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, that he is providing very proven knowledge. He's providing you the path of the real God, And then I started listening to his teachings, listening to his satsang, and then I found that this is the real knowledge.
And then you started following Sant Rampal.
Then I started following Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, all his teachings, and from then on I'm constantly following his teachings.
So it's been like 6 years in this path.
Yeah.
Any special experiences or benefits that you got after you started following this path?
Yes. So I won't say benefits, but I would say these are miracles.
Miracles.
Yes.
And you being a chemistry student, you are using the word miracles.
Yes, because everything is created by God, as we have learned from our childhood, right? So even formation of a molecule is a miracle, right? So this thing happened to me because when I started following the teachings of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, I would like to elaborate on this a bit. So when the first time I went to the satsang place, or which we call Namdan Kendra at Praladpur in Delhi. So I was getting that mantras, and my car was there on the ground floor, and my mobile phone was in the car, and it was ringing constantly. So when I went home, I realized that one of my old friend was calling me repeatedly. So the thing was that I was owing like a sum of 5 lakh rupees from a government department,
Okay.
which I was following them from last 1 year, and they were responding quite negatively, and they were saying that this is not in our rules, so this cannot
You
be.
won't get that.
Yes, this cannot be reimbursed or
Okay.
refunded to you. So that friend was calling me for that purpose, and it was like quite
The
shocking
very
for me.
day when
Yes,
you
the
went
very
to
first day when I started following the teachings of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj. So I just called him back and asked him like, okay, what happened? So he said that I came to know about your problem of some reimbursements from a government department. I said yes, but how do you know this? But he said, yeah, I came to know about this from some friend of this, and so he said I have a contact person that can help you a lot. I said okay. I still couldn't believe him, right? But I thought, okay, give me the contact and then I can talk to him. So I talked to that person, and he said, okay, I can help you. So I can help you with this reimbursement. You can
Okay.
go and meet the concerned person. I will contact him and I can help you on this. I said, okay. Then I went to meet this person who is responsible for this reimbursement in that government institution. And when I went to meet him, his secretary came out of the office shouting at me that you are following this from last 1 year, and we have repeatedly
said no.
and refused you, and you have come to this office. And I said okay, and so there was kind of a scene created on that, right? And I was like quite depressed, frankly, because I thought, okay, I was following this from last 1 year, and this thing has got ended finally. Okay, so then I came out of that office, and I was waiting for the metro feeder bus to board the metro
Okay.
at Chhatarpur station
Okay.
in Delhi. So when I was standing at the bus stop, one guy came in white clothes with white beard. It's like a shabby look, right? And he said, "Why are you sad?" I said, "I am sad. Don't disturb me, please. Go away."
You were stressed.
Yes, because I was almost crying at that time because I was in dire need of money, and then I could not get the money, right? And it was a handsome amount of like 5 lakh rupees. And this guy was laughing at me, and he said, "Don't be sad, everything will be fine." I said, "Man, go, I am very upset. Don't disturb me," right? And when I boarded the metro, the very next station, I got a phone call from the same office, from the same
The
secretary.
very next station means few minutes.
In just few minutes, it was just 15 minutes of time. And I got a call from that officer that, Dr. Gupta, I have discussed with my finance people and we can do something for you. I said, okay. I still could not believe like what was happening, right? And just things happened, and within 10 days of time, I got my money back.
Amazing.
And it was like quite shocking for me, right? And then following that, I was because as I mentioned, I was not able to find a right job for myself for like more than 1 year of period. And just after following the teachings of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, or going under the shelter of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, I got an offer from Belgium on a scientist position.
Okay.
And you won't believe, my salary was hiked like 6 times what I used to get before 1 year, right? So this was like kind of a very big boost to my life, and it released all my mental
Tensions.
stress.
Correct.
And I was so happy I went to that position, and I finished my contract for 3 years. After that, I was financially sound as well, and my profile was also upgraded for like.
And you
very
owe
high.
all of this to Sant Rampal Ji.
Yes, to Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj completely because of his teachings.
So you mentioned you stayed in Belgium for such a long period of time. One follow-up question that, and you were a believer of God already, and
Yeah.
at that time you were following Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj's path.
Yeah.
One question that I have here is, and especially in the European countries, we are seeing a lot of people moving towards atheism. Like, what do I say? Even almost 50% of the population is now not believing in God.
A
People
large part.
are refusing to the existence of God. So, and you have been there for a long time. How has your experience been there?
Yes, so when I went there, it was quite shocking for me because I saw people not only believing in God, disbelieving in God, but like they do not accept the existence of God at
At
all,
all.
you know. And they were into such wrong practices of uh, intoxication, smoking, drinking, eating meats, having multiple partners, and all the bad things that you can imagine they were following. I mean, they are still following, right? So I realized that, okay, since I was a firm believer in God, if I were not, I mean, this could have been the future, right? I mean, this will be the future of any country if they do not believe in God, or if they do not believe in the teachings of God, right? For example, in Europe, the atheism rate is as high as 50%, and there is a big debate between theist and atheist, right? God is there and God is not there, right? So this was a very big question in my mind right from my childhood. So I saw the atheist part of the spirituality over there, and I realized that if someone becomes atheist, I mean, how bad he can perform.
It could get.
It could get, and he can really get into transformed into a devil, right? Doing all those deeds.
But you being so much into chemistry, science, and everything, do you think, and are you able to compare science with spirituality for me?
Yes. So let me give you a question. Can science create life?
Maybe not.
I mean, there is no example so far, right? Can you create something? No, you cannot create anything, because I am an experimental scientist. I mean, we do a lot of experiments. We follow the protocols, but we are still not able to get the result. Why? We are not able to create something. Why? We are not able to solve many problems. Why? Because science is a knowledge given by the God, right? Science is not God. Science is a knowledge given by the God, which you should apply to or you say to disseminate spirituality, to disseminate the God, the power of God, the knowledge of God that God has given to you. So there are many unanswered questions that science cannot answer, right? So to me, science is not complete, but God is complete.
God is complete. Okay. Any other remarkable experiences that you would like to share before we dive into a couple more questions?
Yes, there is, I would say, a funny incident because it happened to my wife. My wife works at Shivaji College in Delhi University.
Okay.
So one day she was traveling to the college uh, by what do you say, auto, and then two robbers came and she faced the robbery, and they snatched the
Okay.
handbag and mobile and everything. And she called me up and then told me about this accident, and then I said, okay, you can lodge an FIR and then let's see what happens. And so the same evening she came back from the college, and I tried to console her and ask her like what happened and was there any injury or something. And she was sad as well as angry a bit. And just I said like, okay, why don't you follow the teachings of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj?
Okay.
Because I think you are facing a lot of hardships in your life, right? And you may find some solution. So I don't know, but eventually she said that, do you think Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj is a god? Then why don't you get my purse and things back?
Okay.
And I was like, it's kind of a sarcastic thing, right? So I just prayed to Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj on the very day that this is kind of a
Test.
test for me as well. And by God, by the grace of Almighty, uh, within 24 hours, I got a phone call from the police station that the purse and all the belongings has
Wow.
been recovered and the robbers has been caught within 24 hours, right? And it was like beyond a shock for me, right? And
And
I
it's
was
impossible in a state like
in
Delhi.
a state like Delhi,
Getting your
right?
stuff back.
Exactly. I mean, you can ask anybody like the
Correct.
kind of situation you have. And I was looking at her face at that time, and she was speechless almost, right? So these kind of things happened a lot. And one more thing which I would like to mention: last year, my father suffered from internal bleeding, heavy internal bleeding, and it was he was bleeding throughout the day, and we went to the doctor immediately around midnight, and then all the tests were done, and he was in, I mean, a lot of pain at that time, and so all the tests were done in the morning, and eventually it was found okay. There was no abnormality found, and doctors were like surprised, like we cannot see anything in the scans, right? So what should we do? So doctor suggested me that there is a big possibility that he's suffering from some kind of a cancer,
Oh,
like prostate cancer or
okay.
in kidney somewhere, because prostate cancer is a very common problem. He's like 85 years old at this age. It's a very common problem. So, but I was very convinced, like it cannot happen, because I have seen like people, those who are following the teachings of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, you cannot get this kind of disease. I was pretty sure. So I just convinced my father that you rest assured, you will not get cancer. So we diagnosed him for cancer scans also, and nothing was found, and he was quite okay, like in just 10 days of medication, and right now he's very fine.
So you very firmly believe in Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji as the true spiritual leader, and you have, and it seems like you have reaped a lot of benefits in this path already. It's been like 6 years
6
or
years.
so, but you are still reaping a lot of benefits. One question that I would like to ask here, and I would like to relate it with uh, mental stress that you underwent before you started following this path. So, and you mentioned you have stayed in Germany as well. What I know is that depression rates in Germany are like almost 17% or so, and the mental stress or the depression are very common problems these days. Even a student or even a young child is already undergoing things called as stress or trauma. How do you think your teachings have, Sant Rampalji Maharaj's teachings have kept you away from that stress since you started following this path? And how do you find that inner peace or that mental peace?
I would say that, uh, especially in the younger age, like in the student community, they are facing a lot of stress, both mentally as well as physically, right? And this is the sole reason for various, evil deeds in the society. For example, they drink alcohol, they smoke, because they feel that this will release the mental stress from your body,
It's
right?
kind of an escape.
This, yeah, kind of an escape, that intoxication will release the mental stress from your body. And at the same time, like they eat meat. Why? Because they feel that meat will provide you a lot of proteins, a lot of energy to release the so that you are able to handle the physical stress, right? But these are wrong. Why? Because it has been mentioned in all our holy scriptures, right? That eating meat or eating alcohol or drinking alcohol will bring more stress to you. Why? For example, if somebody is habitual of drinking alcohol, right? And we know that after drinking alcohol, a person cannot think or cannot think wisely, right? Uh,
You
he
get into that influence, and
yeah, anybody can lose your mind or your ability to think, right? So how can is it be that drinking alcohol will release mental stress? I mean, you're doing just exactly the opposite what you should do, right? So this is just opposite of what has been described in holy scriptures of all the religions, right? And this is the most important thing in the teachings of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, that he describes all these holy scriptures. He keeps all the facts in front of us, right? If you see in any religion, there are a lot of preachers, right? There are a lot of motivators. So what you see a person sitting on a high place, You see the crowd on the lower places, and the person is speaking. The crowd is listening and believing. That's all, right? But from where this knowledge is coming, what is the authenticity? What is the proof of this
No
knowledge?
fact checks.
No fact check. Nobody knows. They just believe, and that's why you, being a science student, because science bring logic to you, right? You cannot.
Correct.
I cannot believe on any facts without any logical proofs or logical, you can say reasoning or something like that. But Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj shows all your holy scriptures from all the religions, right? From Hinduism, from Islam, from Christianity, from Sikhism.
Is there any one religion that Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji is directing towards, or is he kind of uniting everybody or dividing the four religions? What is the religion that you all follow?
Yes, so this is a very interesting question because it seems confusing to many people. I can totally agree to that, right? And especially if somebody is not following any religion. So you imagine when, or if you read any of the Holy Scripture, for example, Bible or our Vedas or even Quran, right? How God created the universe, and how God created the humans, right? So when He created all that, there was no religion, right? Religion was made by us. Religion was made by humans. Casteism was made by us to make our life simpler, right? To divide people into different sections, right? So when God made humans, there was no religion, right? So the teachings of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj is beyond the religion or beyond the debate of religion, right? It is going towards the God one, because in every religion they say that God is one.
Correct.
Allah is one. Sabka Malik Ek. But nobody knows where is this one God. It is Muhammad, or it is
Jesus
or it is Ram, or it is Krishna. I mean, this is a very big question. It's a very big debate. So who is this God one? So the teachings of
and
Sant
who is
Rampal
that
Ji,
one God?
that one God is Kabir. That one God is Kabir. And this has been proved. I mean, I'm saying this. You cannot believe this, right? You should not believe this. So to believe this, you follow the teachings of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj. You see the videos on YouTube. He will show all the holy scriptures, and he will show exactly what is written over there. And everybody is educated. We are all educated, and we can all see the proofs, right?
So basically, mankind is the main religion that you all are following.
Yes, so humanity is the main
Humanity.
religion that we are following.
Humanity.
Yes. So we are all humans. We are not discriminating on the basis of caste or religion or anything like gender or something, right? We are all humans. Why not?
Correct. So you all are, Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji is uniting all of you together.
Yes, so this is the very big, what you can say, message from Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, that we are all humans. And what is the result of this? That humanity is uniting. Like discrimination among people of any sort is the major cause of all the problems around the world, right?
And Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji is originated from India. He belongs to India. But his teachings, as I see, are being spread across the globe. And there are a lot of people in different countries who are preaching the same path that Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji is guiding them on. So, do you think there is any difficulty or any kind of challenges that people outside of India might be facing if they wish to follow this path, or how easy it is for them to get onto this path?
I would say this is very easy, because nowadays the communication channels are too much. Too many communication channels are there. You can easily communicate with people from any country, right? Moreover, the electronic media has played a very big role. This is a very big medium to communicate, right? And I would say God has said in all His scriptures that I am everywhere. So it's not that God is only in India, or it's not there in the US, right? Or it's not in another country, right? So it's very easy for everybody to connect to Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj through YouTube channels and listen to his teachings and observe what changes come to their life, right?
Okay, one final question for you, Dr. Deepak. You you are a doctor yourself, and you have been connected with students of different age groups throughout your career, and now you're working, serving as a, like, at a senior position in a multinational company as well. You have met a lot of different people in your life, and I'm sure you must have heard about different ideologies, about different spiritual beliefs. So what is the one message that you would like to convey to our audience, and one thing that can bring everybody together? Because at the end of the day, we all would want to unite and live at peace in harmony. And you have that, I believe you have that, power to influence some of the children's minds or students' minds. What would you like to say?
Yes, very nice. As you mentioned, like we all believe in peace, right? We are so I can say everybody is in search of peace. Even students are searching for
Correct.
peace. They are studying to find a good job so that they can
Stay at peace.
they can make good money and they can stay at peace, right? So the ultimate aim of life is to attain peace and harmony in life, right?
Correct.
And everybody is trying to find that in his or her own way, right? So education is one of the biggest medium that we believe, right, around the world, that education is one of the biggest medium to achieve peace in life. And we believe that the more you are educated, the more you are peaceful. But that's not true. This is what I say to all the students whenever I am in contact with them, that okay, it's very good to educate yourself about the world, but are there people who are peaceful or who are successful after getting this education? There are many people who are not successful after getting this education.
Even after all of this.
Right? Even after achieving all that, their life is not peaceful. I can tell you many examples. People are at very big flourished positions, but they are still searching for peace, right? They are still searching for harmony in their life. They have enough money in their life, but they do not have peace in their life. For example, that's what Steve Jobs said when he died, right? He was one of the richest person in the world at that time. He created the one of the leading
brands.
leading brand like Apple, right? Everybody knows that. But you go and see what he said when he was dying, when he was on the deathbed. He said that this is the most expensive bed in the world because no money can buy this bed because this is the deathbed.
Correct.
No money can buy this bed, right? So education is important, but it is I would say education is to you can say flourish your mind or improve your level of thinking up to the level that you can understand what is the real path to gain peace and harmony in your life. So education is important, but you have to use it for your good.
So what is the main purpose of human life that everybody should walk towards? What is that purpose?
This is the biggest question of life, right? Which everybody is looking for, and I think those who are not connected to spirituality in any extent, even they are also thinking about this question, that what
But
I'm
still don't have an answer.
still don't have an answer, right? And that what I'm doing on this earth, what I'm doing on this planet, right? What I will do after my death, right? What will happen? So this is a very big question, right? So the answer to this biggest question of life comes from spirituality. When you are connected to God, you get those answers because He knows what will happen to you. He knows what had happened to you in the past. He knows what are you doing in the present, but you do not know what happened to you in the next morning, right? So to know the answer of this question and to solve other questions as well of life, you have to connect to the real God. You have to connect to spirituality, and then you feel like, what are the changes that has come to my life? Now I know all the answers. Now the darkness has been removed. Right now I know what is the path of my life. Right, what is the purpose of my life? So this is very important to get connected, and the Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj get connected with the teachings of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj because this is authenticated teaching from our holy scriptures, right? Because Vedas are the oldest scripture in the world that we believe. Everybody believes that Vedas are the oldest scriptures in the world, and he is giving all the teachings from Vedas. So
just one very quick follow-up question here: is it only from the Vedas, or do we have the knowledge from all holy scriptures, like of all religions?
yes, so as I can mention that Veda does not belong to a particular religion. We just believe that Vedas are the oldest scripture. other scriptures, other religions, other
Like
literature.
Holy Bible, Holy
Yes,
Quran.
yes, I'm coming to that. That other literature has come out of the Vedas. So
Okay.
people eventually read, got that knowledge, and they eventually transformed it as per their
Okay.
level of thinking. And then you got other scripture, other literature like Bible, like Quran, Guru Granth Sahib, and a lot of other literature. But this itself creates a big doubt. Like if there are so many paths, if there are so
Which
many
one to
gods,
follow?
which one to follow, right? So it creates another problem to you, right? It creates another question.
Big question.
Big question, right? So that's why I'm saying you connect yourself, you associate yourself with the teachings of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj,
And how can we do that?
it's very easy now. Electronic media has made it very, very easy for you. There is a dedicated YouTube channel about Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj. There are other associated YouTube channels. There are holy books related to that. There are satsang places. Namdan Kendra in
Okay.
almost more than 10 countries, I guess, in the world.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are. I mean, you imagine and you will get the information.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Deepak, for joining us today. It was our pleasure knowing about your spiritual journey and knowing about all the achievements of your life. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you.